Hi everyone, this is Uni. Welcome to another episode of the Unique Paradigms podcast. Welcome to our discussion. Our previous podcast discussed the direction of some of our efforts in the community. Over the past few years, my work in diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging spaces has evolved to include research and thought leadership, community engagement, and dedication truly to a continuously evolving network of leaders and influencers that are truly willing to navigate these difficult discussions. Over the past few months, I've also relocated back to the East Coast, US, and I am glad to be back to one of my favorite states, and I look forward to future collaborations and the DEIB work ahead for me. So thank you all for joining me in the journey. I've missed the mic and I'm in the final stages of publication for my research study. So very exciting and just some really tedious times that we have in going through all the requirements for publication, but it will soon be completed. So it's been quite the journey over the past few years, also with the Unique Paradigms podcast. Our platform continues to grow, and for that, I am truly thankful. Through the connections we've had in identity, diaspora, and the discourse we've had, it's become even more forthcoming that there is an awareness that is needed of diaspora and the influence that it has in corporate environments as well as your personal environments. And one of the most significant experiences for me is in the role within community development in Arizona as an arts commissioner. So oftentimes we're placed in roles where there's an expectation of inclusion when you're a person of color. So truthfully, the presence of a person of color does not eliminate barriers, and it's a collective process. So when you're sitting at a table where you don't certainly feel allyship, or maybe there's the ambiguity of what diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging really means, it really helped me see that this is only the beginning of my desire to continue to shift paradigms in cultural spaces in an area that has not even begun to evolve. So the city I worked in was the city of Peoria, and they had not yet proposed a plan for using arts and culture as a platform for their community. So there were certainly some gaps as far as cultural awareness, and using art as a platform has been very influential for me. So I'm glad to have used my expertise and skills during my tenure for the city, and really confirmed a plan for 10 years to have that inclusive experience. So it did help me become more aware of how I can continue to use my platform in more tangible ways and help pivot the conversations for more actionable results at a much larger scale. So I am eager to build more relationships here on the East Coast, and being so close to the capital city, I feel that there is an opportunity for me to cross collaborate and build more relationships that are needed to advance our discourse. So it's definitely been an illuminating 2 years focusing on systemic issues and policies and organizations. So on a professional level, in reflection, I can only share when you see your uniqueness and how you can shift paradigms within your own personal and professional spaces. Make sure you take time to nurture and educate yourself and create a collective that shares your perspective, that shares your passion as well. I truthfully consider allyship to be one of the most significant methods of bringing visibility to the discourse in the diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging spaces. Having an inclusive lens can accompany many processes to improve outcomes. And you can certainly take a step further and create more tangible ways to measure those outcomes. But it's also simply a great way to create a safe space for discourse and scholarship. And I'm astounded at where you are all tuning in from. I have never imagined I would connect with so many scholars seeking to engage in such discourse. I look forward to creating and meeting some of you in person in the future. I definitely will start creating more video content in the future as well. I feel as a digital creator, I see more opportunities to leverage visual storytelling really to increase the reach to audiences and also be more inclusive at the same time. So our podcast anniversary is soon approaching, so I'm so excited and I've become quite reflective. And I'm humbled for the growth. Our next few episodes are actually going to take a step back and compare some literary work that has been significant for me in my own identity development and dissecting South Asian diaspora in the context of being Indo-Caribbean. So I do feel that there's a deeper discussion in the diaspora that needs to happen. I also look forward to expanding our discourse, not to debate on what lens is more prominent, but to use the knowledge we really have to empower and collectively create visibility of the barriers that exist in our professional and personal environments. I feel that professional and personal identity can truly evolve over time. Some have more meaningful journeys than others. And let us continue to encourage our scholarship and our role in being part of the change that we truly wish to see. For me, my time through industries such as fashion, finance, entertainment, and now higher education has provided an expansive lens where I've diversified project collaborations that I've had over the years, and I've found that art is a meaningful platform for me. So I appreciate celebrating diverse voices and empowering entrepreneurs at the same time. It has been a continuum that continues to evolve in each community that I am a part of. So I am eager to really just build those connections here now that I'm back on the East Coast. So stay tuned for our next episode. I look forward to hearing all of your insights and feedback, and be sure to keep up with us on our socials. I have also been sharing diversity events. I think it's truly meaningful to sit at the table and be a part of the discussions that are happening, because these are voices that are influencing change in those spaces. So I look forward to talking to you also. Take care.